Hello, I'm Panos Kotzathanasis, and this is ASEAN Movie Pulse Interviews. Today I'm with Minsoo Park and Kearnhyung Ahn, whose film Works and Days is currently screening at DocLisboa. How are you guys?
We're fine. Thank you for having us, Panos.
Okay, thank you for your time. So, first question. Your feature refers to a famous poem by Hesiod, which is also where the opening quote is from. What do you think is the relevance of this quote for today? For me, it's particularly interesting because I'm Greek, and it's interesting to see something from Hesiod in a Korean movie. But please tell me.
Yeah, we thought that Hesiod talks about the cycle of life, like telling us what to do and in every period and season. And basically, it's all about labor. So even though it was written in such a long time ago, we believe that it's still relevant today because, people can never stop working, like not only making money at workplace, but also all this tiny stuff you have to do in the house and so on. You are we always trapped in some sort of routines. So, there are always things you have to do in every season and time. So we think it's really relevant and, reveals some kind of reality of this today world.
And how did you select the 9 individuals for Walks and Days?
Well, the most important thing for us was universality. Yeah, we wanted to show human being themselves and society, or maybe even a civilization, not just a specific group or specific category of people. So we considered different genders, ages, occupations, and so on to present a balanced view of today's world. However, we didn't want it to look, too statistical or, artificial. So it was essential for us to show the diversity of diverse lives of various people while making sure the audience would know how we selected them.
So there were others that you didn't select for the movie, or were you focused on those from the beginning?
Um, come again?
Were there people that were there more than those 9 that you recorded, or you had those 9 from the beginning in your mind?
Well, we met a lot more people, and we actually filmed 더 찍었죠? We actually filmed 11 people. We didn't use the footage of 2.
Okay. And can you describe your aesthetic approach, especially with regard to the editing and the sound design?
Well, initially our aim was, our film was inspired by structural film from the 1960s, or it could be seen as a conversion of Great City Symphony in 1920s, but we film people instead of the cities. So we wanted the film structure to reflect the structure of the world, allowing it to speak for itself. So we did this by focusing on 9 individuals within 9 shots across 9 sequences, creating a 9 by 9 square grid with 81 shots. So yeah. And in terms of editing and sound design, it was important for us to capture the sense of repetitive actions. And these actions are building the rhythm and pace of the film, and ultimately reflecting the rhythm and pace of the modern lives.
And as each individual has different thoughts, hopes, and fears with regards to work and their future, which statements resonate most with you personally, and why?
Well, we talked about this a lot, but we have to, I think today we might choose the scene with the elderly electronic repairman fixing this old electronic heaters. He says like he worked all his life. He never took a day off work. And there have been a good days and bad days, but above all, he says he will be grateful if he can have a job and work another day. He's like almost 80 years old. He's still saying that is um in I'm not sure but it meant a lot to me, and it really sums up the one of the important theme of the film and makes us think about the weight of his decades of work. I mean, decades of hard work he has been through. So yeah.
And is your documentary also meant as a comment on the work in Korea, one of the countries with the most working hours among the OECD?
Yeah, that's for sure, because we are from South Korea and we know how the things go in Korea. We know the people there. And we think that Korean society has never been generous to workers. It always demands a lot to them, like demands them to be diligent and, you know, very demanding. But like I told you before, we the important thing in this film is about universality of humanity. So we believe that it can apply to other people from other world or other society in around the world, because we all have to work, and every person needs to get a job, and they are in certain routines. So it's not only about Korea, but also about the whole world. And maybe it could be seen as mentioning about capitalism or the whole modern system. Yeah, so I think it's a universal theme.
And in the end, what do you hope your audience will take away from the documentary?
Well, firstly, we'd like the audience to witness the lives of ordinary people, and by observing their thoughts and observing how they live, we think that the viewers will reflect on their own lives and gain some insights into how ordinary life is created and maintained. So, and we hope that they might have some chances to think about the world they live in. Yeah, and lastly, we also hope that the audience finds some fun in our approach to the structure and form of the film. Yeah.
And how much time did you spend shooting and how much editing the film?
Well, it took more than 3 years from planning to completion for this film. But we only spent about 40 days on actual shooting, because we dedicated much more time to planning and preparation. So yeah, and as we gathered the footage, we worked on the editing right away. I mean, simultaneously. So yeah, but in the end, editing took more time. Could be around 6, 7 months.
And how would you describe the movie industry in Korea nowadays, particularly regarding documentaries? Is there space for such films, in your opinion?
Well, Korea has a very large film industry and very passionate audience. However, I think there's a lack of diversity comparing to the size of the industry. So especially documentaries like this, the film that do not emphasize the dramatic story or political perspectives have much fewer opportunities to reach the audience. So yeah.
And any new projects? What are you working on after this?
Well, we hope that we can get into the next project, but we're kind of busy right now because we just had our world premiere in Busan International Film Festival like last week, and now we are here in Lisbon, Portugal for DocLisboa, having our international premiere. So yeah, we are right in the moment, but now, as of now, we are still looking for more screening opportunities in Europe or in the another part of the world. So yeah, we just hoping that we can reach more audiences, all over the world. Yeah.
Mhm. Well, I guess that's it. Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah. Thank you, Panos.
Okay. Good luck with the film moving forward, and hope to see you soon again. Have a nice day.
You too. Thank you.
Bye. Bye.